This video explains how to generate a random matrix containing i.i.d. random normal variables in the R programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the R code. As a first step, we need to define the number of rows and columns that our random matrix should have. And for this, we need to specify two new data objects called nrow and ncol, as you can see in lines 2 and 3 of the code. And I'm specifying that I want to create a matrix with 10 rows and 3 columns. So after running lines 2 and 3 of the code, you can see that those two data objects are appearing at the top right of RStudio. In the next step, it makes a lot of sense to set a random seed to make our example reproducible. And I'm doing that, as you can see in line 5 of the code, using the set.seed function. And within this function, I'm specifying a random seed. So if you run this line of code, our example gets reproducible. Then in the next step, in lines 7 and 8 of the code, I'm using the matrix function and the rnorm function to create normally distributed variables. And I'm specifying within the rnorm function that the number of values that I want to generate should be equal to the number of rows times the number of columns. And then I'm also using the ncol argument of the matrix function to specify the number of columns to be equal to our ncol object that we have created before. So if you run lines 7 and 8 of the code, you can see at the top right that a new matrix object is appearing, which is called mymat. And we can print this matrix to the bottom in the RStudio console by running line 9 of the code. And then you can see that we have created a random matrix containing i.i.d. normal random variables. Now we can also convert this matrix to a data frame in case we want to generate a random data frame by using the as.data.frame function, as you can see in line 11 of the code. And I'm simply applying this function to our random matrix that we have created before. And then I'm storing the output of this in a new data frame object that I'm calling my.df. So if you run line 11 of the code, you can see that this new data frame is appearing at the top right. And we can print this data frame to the RStudio console by running line 12 of the code. And then you can see that our data frame contains exactly the same values as our matrix. However, now we are dealing with the data frame class. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage, statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.